So what's Hillary Clinton really hoping for in the weeks ahead? And according to Howard Wolfson, perhaps the months ahead. What's the end game if there is one? Roger Simon covers politics for the Politico, and David Cord covers politics for Mother Jones Magazine. God, it's great to have you two on. You are as good as I am at trying to figure that out. I just referred to Howard Wolfson, who was sitting there, the great spokesman for Hillary Clinton. I said, you're like one of those Japanese soldiers that wouldn't give up after the battleship Missouri signing ceremony. You're still holding on out there.
Yeah, he gets paid a little more than they did, but with Hillary, there's no way she can win without going nuclear and having a nullification strategy, basically getting party insiders to overturn what the Democratic primary voters and caucus goers decided. And that would take months because Barack Obama won't sit down for that, even if she gets superdelegate support after the primaries. I think she's...
So in other words, she has to beat him at the convention.
Yes. And that means 3 months of fighting after the June 3rd finish. She's sitting in there now probably thinking, listen, who knows what can happen in this crazy race?
Right.
I need a stroke of luck between now and June 3rd, and then, you know, I determine whether to push the button.
Isn't she like the pitcher trying to get the other side out, hoping that her team will have a rally, that she'll get a big break, somebody in op research will come up with some old photo or something that'll humiliate Barack?
Sure, you know, and a comet could hit the planet, and it wouldn't matter anymore. I mean,
she'd wait for a comet.
She's hoping against hope, but she also might have a different agenda. Maybe she stays in long enough, and he offers her the vice presidency. Maybe she stays in long enough, and there is a surge of fundraising, which seems to be a little dubious, and she gets to pay herself back.
You mean she's engaging in flagpole sitting? She's going to stay there just to be there come...
Her end game is how she runs this end game affects her political future.
Right.
She wants to end, I think, with as many victories as possible. She's going to win West Virginia. She's going to win Kentucky. She's going to win Puerto Rico. She probably figures, why not end with 3 more victories? I can run for the Senate in 2012. If Barack Obama is the nominee and loses, I can run for the Senate. I can run for the presidency in 2012. I can run for governor of New York in 2010. I can be Senate majority leader. It all depends on how she ends this race.
This argument that the votes of Puerto Rico, that's a huge commonwealth. No, I'm stunned. Yeah. I am absolutely stunned by the argument. It's a huge commonwealth, a great part of the world. It's definitely American citizens all over the island, but they don't get to vote in our presidential elections. And Howard Wolfson sat there with a straight face, more or less, and said, those will be our argument for getting the nomination, that we swept Puerto Rico.
There's a bigger point. They're talking now about making sure everybody gets to vote in the primaries, seating the Florida and Michigan delegations. Democracy, democracy, democracy. But what's their ultimate...
offshore.
Offshore. What's the ultimate strategy? Getting insiders to vote for them because they say you should take our argument. So they want people to be Democratic until the primaries are over, and then overturn the democracy with the insiders. It's untenable.
Since the popular vote doesn't matter anyway, since the popular vote is nowhere part of the rules, they say metrics don't count. They're just meaningless. Metrics like how many delegates actually vote for you on the floor of the convention, I guess. Since the popular vote really doesn't count, you might as well count Puerto Rico. You might as well, you know, she's not going to win the popular vote anyway.
Democrats abroad, don't forget about them.
Well, I'm just thinking, chutzpah, you know, the ability to just look somebody in the face and make a case that's absurd. I mean, nobody in this country would say that the nomination should be decided by people who can't vote for president, would they? Would anybody say that?
Isn't making a case absurd what politicians do when they're running?
Anyway, let's talk about that. Let's try to do a little thing here. Brian Williams interviewed Barack Obama just today and asked him point blank whether he's already wrapped up the nomination. Is it a win? Here's the question and the answer.
Are you the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party?
Not yet. I will be if Senator Clinton decides not to go on, or if we complete these 6 contests and we are ahead as we are now. But nothing is certain. I don't want to take it for granted. Senator Clinton has been written off before and came back, and she's a formidable candidate. So obviously we feel good about the results on Tuesday. It strengthens our position, and you know, I'm confident that we can finish these last few contests and be in a continuing strong position, but it's not yet settled.
Have you had any discussions about declaring that victory on the 20th after Kentucky and Oregon are decided?
That will be an important day. If at that point we have the majority of pledged delegates, which is possible, then I think we can make a pretty strong claim that you know, we've got the most runs, and it's the 9th inning, and we've won.
There's baseball again, Roger. He looks like he's very humble.
Right.
He's not completely humble. He's ready to move by this month. It looks like he's ready to move in 2 weeks.
He should keep up with the humble thing. I think it would be a mistake for him to declare victory after the last contest, because the last contest gives him a very meaningful metric, the most pledged delegates, and that will give him the nomination in the end.
One reason he doesn't have to claim victory is that every commentator in America gave it to him 2 nights ago on every known network.
Let us claim victory for him. What Time Magazine claimed it for him?
So the race was over, so why we...
Time Magazine, which is the official printed matter on this, and there it is on the cover today. It's over.
Right. Come June 3rd, when the primaries are done, he'll have a lead in pledged delegates. He'll also have a list of committed superdelegates. The combination of those may put him over whatever the magic number is, depending on Florida and Michigan.
I think he's acting like a charming winner. We think, but I tell you, Howard Wolfson's sitting there. I think he's still got that World War II rifle in hand and the gas mask, and he's ready for the incoming. Anyway, Roger Simon, David Corn, two of the best.